What's going on? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode with, as always, my favorite co-host, Miss Tiffany Chanel. What's going on, girl? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's happening, people?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Today is a special segment. We're doing our Toxic Tuesday segment once again. So you already know what that means. Miss Tiffany Chanel is going to lead us off. But before we get into that, if you happen to hear a loud noise, I'm very sorry about that because the finals are still happening. I think honestly, the NBA finals should be over by now. The Suns should be winning. Hopefully, they winning right now, uh, because it should be game five. The Suns should have won, but you know the NBA is trying to. I think the NBA is rigged. I really think it is. Because they need more games. They need to stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? They need to stretch out them games like them, so the ratings can go up. So that's what I think. But I think the Suns should took care of their business. But I think it's a 2-2 series right now. It's a 2-2 series. I forget. I think the Suns or the Bucks is winning. I haven't checked the score, but I know there's a game on right now. So my roommate's getting excited. So that's what it is. But it's all good though. It's all good though. You know, it is what it is. When you got roommates, you got to work around it. But that's not gonna stop me from doing the show. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
anyway, Miss Tiffany is going to lead the discussion today. I think it's going to be a very interesting discussion. If you haven't seen our last segment on Toxic Tuesdays, please go check that out because it is episode 45. It's talking about self-respect, mistreatment. Miss Tiffany has a deep story about what she went through in her past life. So I definitely recommend y'all check that out, man. But she gonna present something else today. She gonna present new some new today. So I'm very interested to hear what it is. But I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna give it to Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, go ahead, take it away, girl.
All right. Today on today's Toxic Tuesday, we are going to be talking about taking risk and taking risk out of fear versus faith. And a lot of people don't know what the difference between the two is. So I'm going to start with what it means to take a risk out of fear. To take a risk out of fear, it usually comes from a feeling of lack. you you feel as if you're lacking something, so you must take this risk. Lack of money. It could be a lack of attention, that you need some type of validation for this choice that you're making. And in taking a risk out of faith, you know that's usually putting a choice, making choices that come from a place of love, a place of fulfillment, something that has inspired you to make this choice or decision that is risky, but it comes with great abundance behind it. But with a risk out of fear, it's a risk that has a window of uncertainty. Whereas faith comes with belief, and like whatever you believe, therefore it is. So what do you want to do? Do you want to take a risk out of fear, or do you want to take a risk out of faith? In certain situations, we don't know what we'll do in that situation, because it's everybody has felt fear in every aspect of their life, whether it was their personal life or business life. And I'm going to use the example of taking a risk out of fear. Like, say you love somebody, you're in a relationship with them, and they left you for somebody else, and you were just there by yourself to pick those pieces up, and you're trying to get yourself back together, and then boom, a light bulb moment happens. They realize you're the one they want. Okay, so then they come back and they are just begging and pleading that they want to be with you. And so that this person does not value you, but you still love this person. You still believe that, it could possibly be that they made that choice because, you did something wrong. You might think you did something wrong while they did that. But while they were gone, you were, learning more about yourself and loving yourself. So when they come back, now you have the decision of choosing them out of fear of not finding anyone else or losing that person in your life, even though they've been lingering around just with somebody else. And they did come back, but you have this fear, like, I don't want to lose them. You know, I don't want to lose that love that I have with this person. They truly love me. You know, I don't want to lose that. You know, instead of believing in yourself and choosing yourself, which would be the risk of faith, would be choosing yourself, because there's plenty of people out there to love you. And you know you're a great person. You know you have a lot to offer. You know you gave this person your last. You know you gave this person your devotion. You know you did the best you could in that relationship. But sometimes we try to go into that place of fear. But in that fear and that risk that you're willing to take on this relationship comes with what? Uncertainty. You don't know, because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, yeah, they kissing on me, they liking on me, they telling me how that other person was trash and I'm better. So it's boosting that your confidence on a level of validity, but not off of truth and love for yourself. It's based off of validity and opinion of someone else. You know, you're getting boosted off of that. So now you're like, if I choose them though, what if a week later they go back to that other person? Boom, that's the risk right there, the risk of fear. That's when fear comes into place, that little window of uncertainty. But you know for a fact that if you don't choose them, you're going to be good. You've already been working on something. You already done been by yourself. Now, you know what it felt like to be by yourself. You done got comfortable not sharing your bed, not sharing your food, not sharing your money with somebody that don't appreciate it. You didn't have a good time with your friends. You didn't have more time with your family. You done lost a few pounds. You done started eating better. You drink less. You know, that comes with faith. You got faith that you can do it because you done did it already. But this right here, that you tried that and it didn't work. And then if you try it again, that's that out of that fear. You fearing something. Okay. So that's the difference. Just that little example. It's a lot of different examples I can go with, but I'm gonna go with that one because that's a tough one that people have a hard time with, is saying no to that person that come back that you once loved. That's a tough one. You know, we can say no to a lot of stuff, but when it comes to love, I tell y'all all the time about the matters of the heart. Matters of the heart is powerful, but sometimes you got to choose yourself, love yourself. And that goes like back in the last week's segment when I talked about self-respect. You know, at the end of the day, you know what and who is more important, and that is yourself. When it comes to that taking that risk on something that don't necessarily involve you, you taking a risk on what they telling you. You didn't come to them and confess your love to them and try to take them back from that person. They came back to you after that didn't work out. Now, stuff may not work out with you and they might go back to that person. That's why that's that window of uncertainty. And we must remember, when you take a risk, how do you know? So let's get to how you know if you're taking a risk out of faith. How do I know if this is out of my faith or my fear? When you take a risk out of faith, it's always supported by God, your ancestors, and your guardian angels. God is all behind that. And when God's involved, there's belief. And when you're putting in all your choices and decisions in faith, that's what brings miracles. That's what brings that what seemed impossible possible. Like, man, this is great. You believed in it. You had passion. You was inspired to make that choice. You wasn't pressured to make that choice. You wasn't considering other people's opinion to make that choice. You didn't post it on Facebook and ask everybody what they felt about this choice. And then this choice didn't come from your uncle, Jimmy, at the cookout, who said that you should do this. That's somebody else's opinion. You didn't even think of that on your own. So there can't be no faith behind what somebody else said. You know, faith only comes by something that you created on your own that came from your heart with passion. And when you make and you take that risk and make that decision, what comes after that is fulfillment and joy. Because what I say, what you believe is what is. So when you make that decision and you believe, then it is. Because they say all the time, you pray for something, you say, thank you, God, and so it is. I'm blessed. And you end your prayer like that. You say, thank you, so it is. I am blessed. Amen. Boom. God done heard you. Ain't nothing too impossible for him. He has infinite abundance and blessings for you. Ain't nothing too hard for him, because when you came into this world, it already belonged to you. You just didn't realize it. You too busy looking on the outside when all of it is inside. You make all your choices and make those decisions from the inside, not from the outside, not from what you see in here, but what from what you feel and what you believe. That's how you know what risk you should take. Is it coming from something that you see in here, or is it coming from something that you feel and you believe? That's how you could tell fear versus faith. And I'm gonna pass it to Chris.
Yeah, no, I yeah, that was all good, man. I love what you Tiffany was saying. I was trying real hard to listen. Now, like I said, the game is on, so roommates out here screaming. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go on mute for the first time. So luckily y'all ain't gonna hear nothing what I just heard. But no, I like how she brought up having faith, man, and trusting in God and believing in what God's plan for you, because that really is actually what I wrote down, like some similar, man. Because when we talk about taking risk in terms of faith, man, I think of it as not being afraid to take ownership of what God has called you to do, man. Because there's gonna be things that God calls you to do, and it's gonna be like, well, what about what my family thinks? You know what I'm saying? What my friends think and everything like that? Like you worried about, or what about them? But it's like God then, he didn't negotiate with your family. He already know what he wants you to do. So when God give you something to do, you gotta act on it, man. You know what I'm saying? I think of it like this. I really love this scripture in the Bible, man, and it's from Joshua chapter 1 through 9, man. And if you've ever read this portion of the Bible, this is where God is basically called Joshua to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River, to take possession of the promised land. And one thing that I remember, reading over and over, there's one phrase in the first, 9 verses of this chapter is God keep telling Joshua, be strong and courageous, bruh. Have no fear in what man can do to you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you are on a mission to going after your purpose, you cannot be afraid of what man can do to you, because God has got you, bro. God has called you to do
Exactly.
something great, man. And I'm telling y'all, bro, y'all gotta trust and believe. That's where the faith portion comes in, man. God will call you to do something, and you're like, well, I don't see myself doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like Joshua, when he called Joshua to lead them Israelites over to the promised land, Joshua probably thinking, oh, I don't know, bro. I'm not qualified, man. Like, why do you want me? Like, why do you want me out of everybody else? But God don't look at that. You know what I'm saying? Now that see, hopefully that sound puts out. Because like I said, this dude crazy. My dude wilding, bro. Dude is wilding. Right now. I think the Bucks just won. That's what I think it is. But nah, like I said, bro, it's about having that faith. That's about having that faith in what God has called you to do. Because God will put you in situations where you may not think you qualify. He may ask you, "Oh, I want you to take this executive position at your company," and you thinking, "Well, sure, I don't really have as much experience as my next door as my next person." You know what I'm saying? Like I've only been at the company for a year. You know what I'm saying? But I want to. But God is telling you, He's picking you because he trusts you with what he's asked you to do. Like nobody's qualified to basically go out and carry God's plan. Like if God wanted to, he can do everything himself. But that's why he calls us, because he believes in us. You know what I'm saying? And you got to see that he loves you. That's why he making you do some of this stuff that you may think you're not qualified for, but he knows you. He created you. So that's why you have to, take ownership of it and not consult with God. And I know I'm referencing God, but that's literally what it is, man. I'm telling you,
Right.
that's really what it is. It's just God telling you to go in a different direction, man. And you cannot be scared to act. You know what I'm saying? Because you may miss out. You may miss out on a great opportunity if you don't, go where God has called you. Because it's like his plans are not my plans. You know what I'm saying? His thoughts are not my thoughts. And there's times where you may think you know, but you don't. You may think you know what's best for you, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? You may think, oh, I can just play it safe and still be at my current job and make money. And then, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't take the opportunity that God has called you. And now you still miserable. Now you're like, well, dang, like I could have done that. And God's like, see, you should have acted. You should have did what I told you to do. And so now you won't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not being afraid to take that next step in your life, bro. Not being afraid to get on that roller coaster and experience that thrill, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you in line to get on a roller coaster, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever get that feeling when you standing in line for a roller coaster and you just get nervous, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to ride it, but that fear is like keeping you from riding, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll use my example. So my example is when I was about 12, 13 years old, and I went to this amusement park called Cedar Point. And they got a ride up there, man. They got a ride called the Top Thrill Dragster. It's like over 320 feet high and 120 miles an hour. The average person scared to ride that boy. You know what I'm saying? The average person like, I ain't getting on that ride. I ain't getting on that roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? And I was standing in line. I'm like, bro, I need to ride this ride, man. But when I was in line, that whole time, that fear was literally, you know, telling me, oh, you should get out of line. Like, you shouldn't experience that. It's too dangerous. What if you fall out the seat? What if the ride break down? What if you get stuck at the top? All these worst case scenarios kept popping in my mind. And I'm thinking like, man, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I know that I wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, get on the ride. I'm a little anxious because it takes you out on the track, and it's like kind of like a race. It's like a race car. You know how it goes 3, 2, 1, go. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there on the track, and it's like 3, 2, 1, go, and I'm having anticipation. And I'm like, bro, did I make a good choice? Did I really want to get on this ride? Literally took off. Best ride of my life. Best real experience of my life. And the point of that story was some of y'all, y'all don't take risks. Like y'all so scared to get on the ride that could take you on the best experience of your life because you scared of what could happen. You know what I'm saying? You scared to take that risk to go on that thrilling experience because you scared of worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this, man. When you get an opportunity from God, you got to act on it, bro. That's all I'm trying to say. Because sometimes opportunities may not be there. A lot of people be thinking, "Oh, I need to wait for stuff to line up." Like when is stuff gonna line up? You know what I'm saying? When is there ever a perfect moment? There's no such thing as no perfect moments, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to create it. Like you can't wait. Like you thinking like, "Oh, okay, I'll go after this job when I get my suit." Like, come on, dog. Or you waiting for, I don't know what you waiting on, bro. But people be like that. They be like, I need to wait. Or like it's like when you're trying to go after somebody that you see, like that you like. Tiffany was talking about the relationships. It's thinking about, trying to go find your soulmate. You see somebody that God has told you to go after, go talk to, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna just wait a little bit. Maybe I'll wait, till she comes out, or maybe I'll wait when she's going over to a car. It's like, bruh, she right there. Go say something, man. What you scared of? You know what I'm saying? What you scared of? You need a haircut. You need to have your best haircut, bro. Well, she don't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got when the opportunity is there, you gotta go take it, bro. Don't consult with nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go after what you need to go after. Whatever God has told you to go after it, bro. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to take that risk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, with my story about the top through direction, it could take you on a thrilling and a much funner experience. You know what I'm saying? And you would have never known if you didn't get on that ride. So if you don't take risk, you don't know what type of life. Because like they say, bigger risk, bigger reward. If you want more out of life, you got to take more risk. And if you ain't willing to take those risks, you will probably never ever experience what your life could be like and all the fun and excitement and joy that it can be if you don't take it.
Boom. And just to follow what Chris said, because he said it, he told y'all, he gave you a breakdown. You got a breakdown. So with that being said, if you don't take no risk, that means you ain't never tried nothing new. Okay.
Right. Yep.
You gotta try new stuff. Okay. That old stuff, ain't working no more. Okay. Because that's going to keep giving you the same results. And if you think about it, people saying, if you're thinking to yourself right now, or people saying to you, I'm scared to take risks, fear, fear, fear. But the thing about it is you take risks every day. Every choice and every decision you make is a risk, because you don't know, you're not in control. You don't know what's around the corner, what's behind that door. As soon as you walk out your house, you don't know somebody will run up on you. You can't live in fear all throughout the day. You're not walking around in fear. You would never leave your house. You'd be scared to turn a corner. You're not that fearful. You're just telling yourself that because you're afraid of change. You're afraid to try something new. You got to try something new to take the right risk. That's how you know you're heading down the path of right risk, trying something new. Because when you try something new, you're creating change in your life. And change is something that's inevitable. It's going to happen. And if you don't change and you keep making that same choice, staying in that same place, not doing nothing, taking no new risk out of faith, but you taking the risk out of fear, you're going to see yourself falling lower. But the whole mission of life is to elevate, to ascend. We want to grow. We want to learn. You can't grow and learn if you're not trying anything new. Try something new. Go to a new restaurant. Start small. Go get a new hobby. Learn something new. Pick up a book. They got something new that you might be interested in. Just go to the library and just, walk around and see what you might like. Go to Barnes and Nobles. See if there's something that you might be interested in to learn something new, because that's going to take you on a new path. That's putting new thoughts in your mind. That's taking you a new direction. Whatever you put in your mind is going to control what you do. Now, if you keep putting the same stuff in your mind over and over again, and you're not replacing it with nothing better, you're going to keep hitting that same brick wall of fear, that wall of fear. And the fear is a fear of change. Yeah, when you try something new, you might get butterflies. You might get anxious. Everybody gets nervous. But don't confuse being nervous with anxiety and depression and fear. Don't put it all in there. Being nervous is an exciting feeling that you get in the pit of your gut, that you're doing something good, and you kind of just, want it, just can't wait for it to happen out of joy, not out of fear or lack of. That's anxiety. And when it doesn't work out, anxiety is going to lead you to depression. That's where it goes. When something didn't work out, you took that risk out of fear. You got so fearful that it just took you on a downward spiral. Because deep inside, when you got fear, it's not going to work out, because that's what you manifested. You manifested that's not where fear comes from. You're like, I'm so scared. I shouldn't do this, man. If I do this, this going to happen. This going to happen. Like Chris said, when he was on a ride, he's saying, oh, my seatbelt might lock up. I might fall out. You manifesting that, because you're putting it in your brain, and then you're attaching the feelings to it. Manifestation comes from your thoughts with your feelings. Now your feelings and your thoughts, you done manifested that. So then the fear becomes overpowering. You start really feeling like it's about to happen. You even get feelings that it already did. You got to turn that fear into faith by learning something new. Learning something new is going to take you on that new path. That's how you get started. You're tired of the path that you want right now. You want to try something new. You want to do something new. You want new people, new environment, new car, new house, new you. Everybody every year says new me, new year, new me, but they ain't did nothing new. They do what maybe they saw somebody else do that was new to them. If gardening is new to your neighbor, don't mean you need to garden. That's new to them. That's not a part of something that you're trying to do. You're doing the outside thing. You're taking, like I said earlier, it's not your own idea. Get something that inspires you. That's what's going to lead you to your destiny, because that's part of your intuitions leading you. God is in your intuition. He's in that wisdom, that inner knowing. That's what's going to lead you down that light path and lead you up out of that darkness of fear. Because you got to look at it: faith, light, fear, dark. Okay, nobody want to be in the dark. You want to shine bright like a star. Everybody want to be a star and shine bright. You gotta go towards that faith. You gotta take that leap of faith, okay, towards the light, towards the change, towards a new direction that's gonna bring you some type of fulfillment and some type of joy and some happiness within you. Don't think about what it could put into your physical life, your 3D reality. Oh, if I do this, it's gonna get me, I can get a car if I do this, or I can get that girl I've been looking at, that work up the street at that restaurant. I can get her if I go take this risk and bet on this car, or bet on this game, or whatever the case may be. You're thinking on a level of uncertainty, and it is premature, because it doesn't really have a plan behind it. It's just a thought. It's just a thought and a hope that something's going to happen. It ain't got no faith behind it. So when you make a decision, it has to follow up with an action for it to be co-created into your life. You can't just say, if I do this one thing, all these things are going to happen. It doesn't work that way. It's you co-creating your destiny by learning something new and taking that step into faith. And when you step into faith, you step into that purpose, because that's where God resides, in faith. And you put faith into him, anything's possible. And he will lead you to where you need to be. You don't got to think about it too far ahead. All you got to do is try something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Acceptable and open to change, because you don't do the same things you did when you was 10. You don't even like the same things you like when you was 10. You done changed. You tell people you ain't seen them in a long time. They're like, man, you changed. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's life. Don't avoid what life is supposed to give you, what's already here that God has for us. He has a plan for you. It's already planned. It's already mapped out. He done authored it for you. If you want to keep playing Ring Around the Rosie and chase your tail of fear, that's on you. When you're ready to walk into the light, walk into the faith, you know what you got to do. Make that change. Take those risks with faith, from passion and love and inspiration from within you. That's how you're going to get to your purpose.
Mm, there it is right there. I love that. And speaking of plans, I love how you mentioned coming up with a plan, because I actually also had that down, because a lot of people are afraid that their initial plan is never going to work. Let me tell you something. Stop coming up with backup plans for God's plan. I'm gonna say that one more time, bro, because
Hey,
I think that was deep. I just came up with that.
that was deep.
Stop coming up with plans for God's plan, bro. What God says is true, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who always feel like they need to have a backup plan. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But here's the issue. When you have a plan, let's say you have a plan to start a business, or you have a plan, you know, to, I don't know, be the best marathon runner, or the best artist, or the best, whatever. I don't know what it is, the best chef, whatever you have, whatever you want to do, you have plan A. That's plan A. Like, plan A is something you want to do. Plan B is something that you necessarily don't want to do, but it's like a safety net. It's like, okay, well, if this doesn't work out, I'll just go settle, somewhere over here. And, I'll just have to learn how to work with it. Bruh, you can be what you set your mind to be, bro. The problem is, when you got a plan A and a plan B, you gotta, continue to go back and forth between plan A and plan B, because a plan B is something that you also got to give attention to. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard this the other day. I was actually watching one of Steve Harvey's segments for one of his shows, and he does like a little interactive segment called Ask Steve, or whatever it is. And this lady stood up and was talking about her college daughter wanting to, I think she wanted to start running for businesses or something like that, or want to, make money somehow. I think it was like, she wanted to start a business or something. And the lady was like, well, I think that's good, but she's also there to be in college as well. And, she was talking about how she wanted to drop out of school, start a business. And she was like, well, I want her to stay in school and have a backup plan. And Steve Harvey was like, I disagree with you on the backup plan part. He didn't say that she should drop out of school, but what he was saying is that if she wants to do that, she should go after that plan as hard as she possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that I found interesting about what he said to that lady was how he never taught his kids how to have a backup plan. He said, if plan A doesn't work, just come up with a new plan A, which means revise whatever didn't work and continue to pursue it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people
Amen.
they give up the pursuit of plan A because it didn't work how they initially thought. All you got to do is if it didn't work out the way you thought it was, let's say you start a business, it don't reach the number of sales that you want. What you do, you don't give up on that. There's still potential in the business. All you got to do is revise plan A and keep going with it. Don't be like, oh, well, I didn't do good my first year in business. I mean, when people start a business, they don't necessarily always start off right. You know what I'm saying? They don't always make, millions of dollars in sales. Okay. They gotta start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between successful business and businesses that go broke is that they continue to revise. It's all about coming up with something new. That's why Apple is still in business because what do? They come up with something new every year. Every year it's a new phone. It's new this, it's new that. Same with like Microsoft, it's new this, new that. Okay. So what you got to do is continue to come up with better ideas on how to be able to make your business flow. And that's how you got to do it with whatever else you want to pursue is if it don't work out, one time, that don't mean, oh, let's go to plan B. Let's just do something that I don't want to do and just be content. You know what I'm saying? That's not why God created you. God created you to be creative. He didn't create you just to exist. He didn't create you just, be content with whatever the world gives you. He's saying, okay, if you want something to happen, I'll walk with you, but you got to have faith and you got to put in the work and you got to continue to show me that you really want it. And if you continue to show God that you really want it, He will eventually come through for you. The problem is you following God's plan, and then you like, oh well, God, this didn't work, so I'm gonna just do my own thing and do what I think is gonna be best for me. When God is saying, just keep going, bro, because you could be right there. It could take one idea to change everything. You know what I'm saying? You could be right there at the goal. You could be digging so hard. You could be digging, trying to find a treasure, and all of a sudden you like literally right there, and then you just turn back. It could just take one
Exactly.
more thing to really blow yourself up. But the fact that you chose to give up at the finish line shows that you weren't really all in. You didn't see it all the way through. You cannot, be like, you cannot go back to where you started. Because all you're doing when you give up on yourself, you just going back to where you started, bro. It's like you take a risk, it requires you to move somewhere else, and then all of a sudden it's not going the way you think it's gonna go, and then you want to go back to where you was. All you doing is starting over. Why are you going back, you know what I'm saying, to where you was when there was nothing there in the first place? You trying to
Right.
pursue your career in LA, and then all of a sudden you move from Houston to LA. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be a producer or whatever or whatnot. You trying to be an actor, a singer, whatever, trying to do in LA, and then all of a sudden, it's maybe the first year you there. You ain't seeing what you want to see. And all of a sudden you're like, well, I want to move back to Houston. It's like you moved out of Houston to go pursue your career. Why are you going back to Houston when there's nothing there? Why are you going back to square one, bro? Why are you going back to a life that you necessarily didn't want to do? You know what I'm saying? You didn't move to LA, you know what I'm saying, just to chill. Like you didn't move to LA for no reason. You moved to LA for a reason. And the fact that
Exactly.
you gonna give up that quick, just tell me you ain't got no drive. You ain't have no faith to see it through. So my thing is this: if you think if plan A doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, or it doesn't work out right away, just come with a new plan A, bro. That's what I tell people. That's what I would tell people if they think, oh, what if I go after this, but it doesn't happen? What if it fails? Just come with a new A. Just come with a revised plan. That's all it is. Don't be content with just work. Don't be content with doing something you don't want to do. Just keep going, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the fun. Life is like a roller coaster, bro. It's gonna take you through all this stuff. It's gonna take you through loops. It's gonna take you through hills. You're gonna have some high moments. You're gonna have some low moments. But that's life. Life is about adapting to those challenges, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could tell you that everything you try is gonna work out the first time. It's not. I wish I could tell you that everything that you do is just going to fall in your lap. It's just going to be like, oh, if I decide to take a risk, it's going to happen. Like, I'm gonna get a really big reward. I wish I could tell you that. That's why it's called risk. That's why it's called taking a risk, because you don't know what is going to happen. Just like when you risk your money in the market, you don't know if that market's going up. You don't know if that market's going down. Okay, it's unpredictable. That's why it's taking a risk. And so, if you are afraid of the unpredictable, won't take no risk. Just be satisfied. Just live a boring life. Live a boring life doing the same thing over and over. Just go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't
That's an
willing to take no risk,
unhappy life. That's a very unhappy life because it
facts.
don't have God in it. It's no love in that life,
Yeah.
none but darkness, sadness, anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, repetition. It's nothing that is going to bring any fulfillment at all. So yeah, Y'all
Right.
better
Nah.
listen to Chris. Y'all better listen to Chris, what he told you.
Right. Now I'm out here preaching though, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yes.
think here's the thing. You may be wondering, well, like, how do I go about taking a risk? It's very simple. Change your mindset. That's it. Because let me tell you
Right.
something. I've said this verse and I'm gonna say it again. Second Timothy 1 through 7. God has not given us the spirit of fear, bruh. Fear does not exist. I don't care what you say. There's no such
It's an
thing
illusion.
as fear. It is just something that your mind makes up in your head and literally comes up with worst case scenarios. That's all. All you have to do, get rid of that fear, change that mindset. That's all you have to
Mm,
do. Change that mindset. Start thinking about good things that can happen, right? Start thinking of best case scenario instead of worst case scenario, right? You go after that business, you think, okay, I'm gonna make $1 million in sales. Like, this is gonna change somebody's life. This is gonna change the world right here. That's how you need to be thinking, bro. You know what I'm saying? You need to be thinking that whatever you decide to do is going to make the rest of your life the best of your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's really it. I mean, you don't need to take no medication. You don't need no medicine, bro. All you need is to change your mindset to stop thinking negative and start thinking positive about your stuff. And one thing that'll also help you is if you hanging around small-minded people, get your new group of people. Stop hanging
right.
around people that are always saying, "Oh, I don't know about this. This is too dangerous. What if this doesn't work out? Maybe we should go here where it's like if you hanging around people like that, get some new people, bro. I think that's the problem. Like you keep listening to people all the time. You listening to people that's telling you what to like what you can do. You listen to you listen to what I call realist. Okay, realist. I like I said, like I'm real, but listen, when it comes to going after your dreams, I say go for it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you hanging out with people who call themselves realists, like, oh, I'm just being real. Like, the facts say this. Like, the facts say that 90% of businesses fail. You know what I'm saying? Or only like maybe less than 1% of singers ever sign a contract. Like, them people try to hit you with facts. They try to hit you with the statistics. But you know what's so funny about that? When people say it's a less than 1% chance or it's like a 5% chance or some low chance, guess what? There is always a chance. There's always one. There's
Yeah.
always one person who made it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think of you gotta think of what my man Steve Harvey calls as possibilities instead of probabilities. Stop thinking in probabilities. Stop thinking that it's probably ain't gonna happen. Stop thinking that well, only 1 out of 99% of people make, you know what I'm saying? There is one person who did it. You could be the one. You got to flip that probability. You got to turn it into one. You got to say, one, there is one person that can make it. That person could be you. But you wouldn't know if you didn't try it. How would you
Right.
know? You know what I'm saying? What if you didn't give it a shot? How would you know? What if you were the one? You would never know until you try. So my thing is this: get rid of that toxic mindset. Stop thinking you can't try something. Stop thinking you underqualified. God has qualified. God has already made you qualified enough. You know what I'm saying? The only person you need to be you need to be listening to is God. Okay, because He created you. He the one that created you. How would anybody else know what you can and can't do? They didn't create you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? They ain't create your gifts and talents and abilities. They ain't create you. The reason they probably mad, they probably saying that is because they know that, oh, if you make it, they gonna be mad. Or they can't do it themselves. That's why they telling you, oh, don't do it. Because they can't do it. So if they can't do it, then they thinking, what makes you think you can do it? What makes you think you can get into med school? What makes you think you can have a singing career? What makes you think you can have $1 million business? What makes you think that you can do all this here, all this stuff that is deemed impossible? Like Tiffany said, there's nothing impossible when it comes to God. That's Luke 1, chapter 1, verse 37. I know I'm quoting scriptures, but I'm just giving y'all facts because that's what God said. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pushing nobody else. If God tell me He want me to do this, that's how I'm gonna act. I'm not gonna consult with nobody else because
Exactly.
I listen to the Most High. That's what I do. So that's what you got to do. Just change your mindset. Change your mindset.
You got to remember that small minds don't understand big spirits. So
Mm-hmm.
like one of my sayings, small minds don't understand big spirits. Big spirits, we take a lot of hits. We get insulted. We get thrown all types of negativity, opinion. People throw fear at us. We don't even feel the fear. They want to put fear in our plans. Don't let people put fear in your plans. Don't let, like Chris said, them small minds. Don't let them small minds try to make your spirit small. Okay, when your spirit is big, your faith is big, your dreams is big. A lot of people gonna try to, because they ain't feeling it. They're gonna try to, come put fear in it, put their opinion in it, put them possibilities in it. We don't need, I mean, the probabilities. We don't need the probabilities. We got possibilities. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say it's probably, or you may want to. I think that, I heard that, I seen that, such and all that stuff that ain't got no validity from God. All we need is that one confirmation from the Holy Spirit that's gonna say this is for you. Because what is for you is only for you. That's why other people ain't gonna see it. Your cousin Jimmy ain't gonna see it, mom ain't gonna see it, your exes ain't gonna see it, your sister ain't gonna see it, your neighbor ain't gonna see it. Sometimes people at your congregation may not even see it, okay? Because it's only for you. It's just for you. That's all you need to know. That's confirmation enough to know that it's for you. And what's meant for you is for you. So if you don't get something, my favorite saying is rejection sometimes is God's protection. It won't for you. And like Chris said, you don't give up just because that one thing didn't work out. You revise your plan. And that's the way to do it. Because you got to have faith. When you really have faith and passion in something, you ain't going to give up. If you getting ready to die, you in a life-threatening situation, you ain't just going to say, oh, I don't think I can save myself. Let me just die. No, you going to fight for your life. So continue to have that mindset and fight for your life, because your destiny, your life purpose is why you're here.
Mm. Mm-mm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That was deep right there. That was deep. You know what I'm saying? I think I had a lot to talk about on this segment, man. Like I just literally just went off. Like there were
Yes.
moments like when we talk about taking risks, man, people like just get so in their head, bro. It's like what you scared of, man? You scared of falling? It's part of it, man. I think that's why a lot of people afraid, man. It's because they're afraid to fall, man. But that is the lesson, that comes with the blessing, bro. I just did a
Hey,
rhyme right there, bro. You know what
I
I'm saying?
like that. That's
Bro,
the lesson that come with the blessing. I'm
hey,
about to take that, Chris. You
put,
better
put,
go ahead, take that leap of faith and fall, because that's the lesson that come with the blessing. Boom, we spitting bars on the
hey,
podcast tonight,
hey,
Saturday
Chris,
Night
Chris,
Live.
hey,
Ow.
put me in the studio. Give me a
Get him in the
soundtrack,
booth.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Give me a soundtrack, bro, because I'm spitting bars up in here. I'm telling you, bro, when you fall, bro, that's the lesson in the blessing, bro, because you gotta take You got to take some hits in order to learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Build
Like,
that resiliency.
yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. You gotta, understand that, like I said before, life is about adapting to challenges, man. That's why there's the top 1%. When we talk about the top 1%, the top 1%, they ain't no different. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no different. Like when you see, people like famous verified people on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like all the verified people that you talking about, you thinking, oh, they some special people. What makes them special is that they use their gift. They identified their gift and they went for it. They didn't stop. Like you can listen to every successful person. Every successful person has failed, has had somebody tell them no. One one common example is Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, that boy got like his own Hollywood studio somewhere. I think it's in, isn't it Atlanta? Is it Atlanta
I
or
think it's
LA?
in Atlanta. Yeah.
I think it's in Atlanta. He got a whole studio where he basically has a lot, where he brings in a lot of black artists, or not artists, actors, excuse me. He brings in a lot of black actors that you probably wouldn't have known. And he's literally giving them opportunities. And you think Tyler Perry, bro, that boy got it made. But you don't know the fact that a lot of his shows people said no to. A lot of his shows got written off because they weren't good. But y'all ain't learning. Y'all ain't know that. Y'all didn't know that because you seen it now. You didn't see the amount of times it took him to fail in order to get to where he is right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it only take one time, bro. It only take one time for you to be right. And that one time you right, that literally can change your whole life right there. Because when you become successful, nobody looking at your failures, bro. Nobody gonna see your failures. You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at all these famous people that a lot of people idolize today, they're all looking at, oh, look at what they got. Look at that car. Look at that house. Like, man, I've never seen a beautiful house. Like, look at that swimming pool inside, man. Look at the basketball court. I mean, like, look at these clothes. Like, they got like a $2 million outfit on. Like, you that's what you look at. See. You see that, but you didn't see the work that they put in to get that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see the work that they did, man. And what I'm trying to tell you is that could be you, man. That could be you if you just don't give up. If you're
There you go.
willing to jump and be able to know how to get back up when you fall. That's really it. Because a lot of people, when they jump and they fall down, they stay down. They're defeated. They're like, oh, I didn't do anything. I can't do anything else. I am done. I just surrender. Like, this is not for me. That's why you end up in the 99% who work for the 1% who didn't give up on their dream. Don't be in 99% of America who is literally going to jobs that they don't like. And why is that? Because they didn't want to go after, they didn't want to take no risk. They were just cool with, oh, I'll just work for somebody, I'll just be cool with, just getting a job, going 9 to 5, coming home, watching TV, and just waking up doing the same thing, nothing different, doing the same routine, same thing at work. Literally just cutting boxes open, you know what I'm saying, and putting them in freezers. I don't know. I'm just using that example. Now that may not be what you do. I'm just using that example, bro. Because when I worked as a package handler, when I was in high school, I knew that was not what I wanted to do. That was not what I wanted to do. Literally the same thing. Go to work, same every day. Literally put trucks on. Put boxes on trucks repetitively. I already knew that wasn't what I want to do. And I said, if I don't take a risk and I don't go after what I want to go after, I'm gonna be like that. And I said that gave me motivation right there. I said I don't want to do that. I want to, go to work sweating, hot, tired. You know what I'm saying? That gave me that motivation to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I said I ain't doing that. I mean, y'all can have that. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta find what you do, what you know best. That's how the top 1% operate. They operate within their gift, and you got a gift. God's getting everybody gifts. But if you don't use your gift, how it gonna work? You know what I'm saying? How it gonna work? If you don't put the key in the ignition in your car, how they gonna start? You know what I'm saying? So it's meant to be used. So if you don't use it, then you can't expect nothing to happen. You can't expect nothing to happen from it. So just remember, use your gift, operate in your gift, and allow your gift to make room for you.
There it is. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Chris with his words of wisdom that I love so much, man. He giving y'all that motivation. Y'all better absorb this motivation and apply it. Apply it to the rest of your week. You got the motivation Monday yesterday, but then today is that toxic Tuesday, but you got a double dose of motivation. In case it didn't work yesterday, Chris got you today. We ain't having no toxicity up in this Tuesday. We got it clear. So now you can make the right choices and decisions on to the next day. And on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, till you bring it right back to Monday with the Motivation Monday again. We done gave it to you. We done got all the juiciness. It's time for y'all to put the sauce on it, okay? Got a juice for it, put the sauce on it. Y'all could do it this week, man. Chris done gave it to you. And I love everything Chris said. Chris done gave you the examples. He done gave you the stories. He done broke it down. He done told you about the people around you trying to do it, trying to tear you down. Take those risks. Take those risks. Disinfect your life. Okay. And like Chris said, it starts with your mind. Starts with your mind. Turn those probabilities into possibilities. I love that. And then Chris even gave you some bars tonight. We had C. Sims on the beat tonight. C. Sims was rocking the mic tonight. Okay, he came through tonight. He was ready. He was ready for the night, boy. I like it. Even with his roommate turned up in the back, he said, "Ain't stopping my shine." And Chris is a perfect example of never giving up. He done told y'all several times on many of these different podcasts how he didn't give up. He didn't give up after his 10th episode. He didn't give up when he had no co-host. He didn't give up when it was just him and he had no guests. He didn't give up when his roommate got to watch the game. He didn't say, "Oh, Tiffany, we got canceled tonight. It's too loud. I can't get." No. Let us be the example. You know what I'm saying? Let us be the example. And Chris was leading y'all down the path. All the young men and women out there. Believe in yourself. Never give up. Because if either one of us gave up, we wouldn't be here right now. I wanted to start a podcast. I had all the tools except for the technology behind it. And what God do? God said, "You tried. You did your part, Tiffany. You got your materials. You got your mic. You got your headphones. You did the research. I did all the research on how to do it." But then I met Chris. He sent Chris right to my Instagram. Boom. And it got popping. Now we here. I wanted a podcast. People told me they didn't think I was going to do it. They didn't think I was going to do it. They thought I was just buying stuff because it looked good, make it pretend like I'm doing something. But things happen. That's a part of never giving up. You may not see what's around the corner, but it's going to come. Like he said, when you get to that finish line, you got to keep going. Even if your legs tired, you sweating, your eyes popping out. You got to do it. Stick to the plan, God's plan. It has purpose behind it. All right. Got purpose behind it. And I got to give it up for Chris tonight, man. He came through. He came through on this Toxic Tuesday. He was feeling this Toxic Tuesday. I was like, yeah, that's my man. That's my man. Hey. He had the bars and everything. I was like, what? And then I really like when Chris said, he said about the backup plan. What was he said? That backup plan. He was talking about you don't need that backup plan. I forgot what you said. You said something smooth with it, boy.
You was right. I talked about how, when you got a plan A, go with plan A. If plan A don't work out the way you think it is, Just come up with a new plan A. Don't revert back to plan B, bro. Because plan B, that's why
Don't
it's plan B.
exist.
It's like it's something you don't want to do, but you'll take it just because you want to be satisfied. It's like, nah. If you want to live the extraordinary life that you want to live, you just got to keep going with plan A, and don't stop till until you make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, Chris then gave you a whole meal. The topic was a snack. Now you got a whole meal. You got the full course. Okay. You got from step 1, 2, 3, and 4. You out the door. If y'all go ahead and absorb all this positivity, all this motivation, absorb it into your minds. This is the things that you need to put in your mind, plant them seeds in your mind to get you going, give you that inspiration. Like, yeah, I want to do it. He gave y'all several examples. You know, y'all gonna have a great week. All our listeners right now, y'all gonna have a great week. We have planted a lot of positive seeds into y'all's minds right now. And I hope it resonates with all of you. I hope it resonates and your spirits are growing bigger.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's a great way to end the show right there, because I think that, man, that was awesome. That was an awesome segment. Now I know it was supposed to be mainly Tiffany segment, but I think I felt like
We work together.
I kind of stole it right there. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to highlight. I was trying to have Miss Tiffany do most of it, but I just had a lot to say in that moment, because it was
I
funny.
love it.
We actually, when we came up with this topic, like when we was trying to talk about what we want to talk about, she actually had something different to talk about. Like we were going to talk about something completely different, but she came back to me on Friday and said, "Hey, like I want to change it up a little bit. I want to go deeper and talk about taking risks out of faith." And I said, "You know what? I'll roll with that." You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's something that needs to be touched. You know what I'm saying? And look what happened. Like we produced a fire. I feel like we produced a fire episode for y'all to listen to. And I feel like y'all gonna get a lot out of this, man. But like I said, it's
Yeah.
all about changing the mindset, bro. That's it. Just changing the mindset and believing in the unseen. Like, we talked about faith. What faith is basically believing in what you don't see. So, we did an episode on believing in the unseen. So it was just kind of like, just kind of a step up. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of just,
Right.
reiterating that, hey, you got to keep that faith, man. You got to go after what God has called you to do. So that's what we was really getting into tonight, man. But man, that was fire. But in terms of in terms of the toxicity, or is that even a word? I don't even know if that's even
Toxicity. Yeah,
toxicity.
toxicity.
I just made up a word right there. You know what I'm
See, I
saying?
mean, it's out there. It's a word. It's a word.
Nah,
Toxicity.
but in terms of this being Toxic Tuesday, basically, like I said, get rid of them toxic thoughts out of your head. Get rid of those negative thoughts. Turn them into positive, man. That's all. That's really it, man. And you do that, I'm telling you, man, you gonna be able to go after what you need to go after, and you ain't gonna hold yourself back, man. But that's really all I got, man. Miss Tiffany, man, you got anything else you want to add before we close out?
Nope. I mean, we covered everything. I just want to shout out to Chris, and me and Chris kill it every time. Chris come with his topic. Sometimes I just have my flutter wave on his, and I come with my topic. That's how we work together. We a team. That's my man's come
Yeah.
through, because I wanted the message to get, and I feel like everybody got this message. And I love Toxic Tuesday. Every point in somebody's life, we've done something toxic, whether it's a decision, whether it was a person that we dated, it could have been anything. It had some toxicities
Mhm.
in there. I love it. I think we did great tonight. Yes, I love tonight's episode. That's it. I just want to say much love and many blessings to everybody listening, and always know that God is in control of all of it. It all leads back to God. So if you ever listen to our segment, always look for God's message, because it's always going to be in there, because everything starts and ends with Him.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Before we end the segment, I just want to remind y'all, if you like us, man, if you like this content, man, give us some feedback. Hit us up in our DMs on our Instagram. I know mine's is at Disinfecting Your Life, no space, no capitals. Tiffany's is at Coaching You to Happiness. So if you like our segments, man, we really want to know. Comment on our YouTube channel, or like I said, send us a personal message, man. We want to know if this stuff is really helping you, and this stuff is really vibing with you know with with just you in general, just you. Like if you really vibe with it, we want to know, man. We want to hear some feedback with y'all, man. So like I said, uh, our Instagram, my Instagram is at Disinfect Your Life. There's no space, no capitals. Tiffany's is at Coaching You to Happiness. I mean, I tag her in every episode, so you see Miss Tiffany on there, just click that little icon where the person is on the video, and it'll just take you to her page. Like I said, give us a follow on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify. The links are all in are under the Instagram page. Okay. So just remember, what I'm saying, just give us some contact. We want to know, man. Because
Buy some t-shirts.
You
Chris
said
got some new buy some t-shirts. We got the stepping into your purpose t-shirts. You got some new designs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Check them out. I'm wearing. I always wear this one. Now I got to get my.
We can never see it.
I know.
Show them again.
Hold on.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Day, man. So this will look like steps towards your purpose, man. They on sale for 20. I got some new ones out there for 14. So hey, bro, like I said, show us some love, man. If you like this motivational stuff, you like our gear, you like the message, support us, man. Give us some support, give us some love, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, rock that out. When you out and about. You know what I'm saying? So you remember us. That's Disinfecting Your Life. That's Disinfecting Your Life podcast, man. We try to give y'all real, 100% real content. Just real motivational stuff for y'all to take with you, man. But that's about it, man. That concludes the show for tonight. This your boy, Chris Simmons, with co-host Tiffany Chanel. We will see you Wednesday live, 11 p.m. Be ready. We're gonna come with 2 new scenarios, baby. You know what I'm saying? New scenarios. Now, if you want your scenario on there, like I said, hit us up in the DMs, bro. And then we will feature your scenario on our podcast. Okay. Like I said, this your boy. We out. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.